All right. Hello, and welcome to Ask the Right Questions. I am Slim, and over there is Race the Raposa.
What's up?
And today, Race is talking about a subject that affects his heart every day.
Yes. Yeah. How to get over anxiety. Um, I've had really bad anxiety my whole life. Um, Constantly feeling nervous and anxious about almost everything. Um, and I just wanted to do a show kind of venting about it. Maybe giving people some advice on how to live with it, how to if you can't beat it, how to um what's the word? Make it less. I don't know. um, Dwindle it down, or I don't know the phrase to use.
Tamper it.
Tamper it. Yeah, that's a good word. So what? I mean, you've had a lot of anxiety over the years too. What's been your way to get over it?
Um, well,
I'm
last
having
year,
anxiety right now, by the way. I'm having anxiety over talking about anxiety. I think I like feel nervous about this show every time we do it too. Because I'm being recorded. My performance is going to be judged later on. You're all going to think a certain way about how I'm talking. That's why I've never been, wanting to do like video stuff. I don't know. Go ahead.
um, well, last year I read The Tower of Pooh, which bothered you.
Not really.
Well, it did 10 minutes ago. So anyway, I'm not Taoist or Buddhist or anything like that.
Hmm.
That didn't cause me to become that. But it does help to accept that there is many things in life that you just can't control. For example, the economy, which is something that bothers both of us.
Hmm.
The future, the future of government and all that crap.
Hmm.
So throwing that aside, accepting I can't do anything about it, helped me some to get over that part of anxiety and to just do what I can, to write, to draw,
Yeah.
whatever. Of course, money's always an issue, and I will never figure that one out.
Hmm. I think most anxiety comes from being unsatisfied. Either unsatisfied with what you're doing at the moment or unsatisfied where you are in life. How long you might have to wait before it changes. And then the whole giant list of things you have to do to get to a better place, the mountain you have to
It's
climb.
it's hard to start. It's hard to keep going to something when you have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Um I find myself sometimes when even if I am motivated and I'm going to start working, I'm going to okay, this is going to hopefully lead to money or um getting out of my parents' house or, something better down the road. Um it's just the overwhelming work of that, and then the um not knowing if it's even going to work out. And I find that my brain just wants to shut down at that moment. And a lot of the times it wins. A lot of the times it stops me from doing what I need to do. I feel like my brain like spins out of control or overheats, and like I got to do something that is not going to make me something that I got to do something that's not going to stress me out, that I don't have to think too much about, that I don't have to worry, oh, is this going to be worth something in the future if I do this now? I usually end up doing something I enjoy, playing a game or or watching a movie or something, but then after the end of that, you have anxiety that you wasted more time, and now you're still not closer to where you were going to be. So it's a vicious cycle. It's hard to know like where my willpower and where my brain begins. What is chemically going on inside of me that is making it so hard to get work done, but also how much control I have to like get over it and flexing that muscle of making myself grind it out. Um, I think you said it like perfectly one time. It was like years ago. Um, you're like you're sad that you're not productive, but then you're like I forget the way you said it. It was put so perfectly.
Well,
Do you remember?
you're sad, you're not productive, but then you're I don't know. Probably something about being worried that you won't be successful. I don't know, something along those lines.
It was like you I mean, some of the work to be successful, right, is very tedious, and it's not always what you feel like doing.
No, a problem I have, like, sit down, and I want to make something, to create something to sell. There's a lot of pressure to make it perfect
Yeah.
or worthy of a sale, worthy of money.
Because there's millions of people out there on the internet, and how do you know which one of them is going to think it's worth? Um.
So, but how do you get over anxiety, Race? But what was the article you gave? Do you want to go through that?
Oh well, that's just yeah, that's just context. It's from the cut. It says for 80 years, young Americans have been getting more anxious and depressed, and that's the widest ranging study I could find.
Uh,
Um, I think this is taken from high school. They give this test to high school kids every year, so I think it's from like 35 to um
people,
2005 or 2010 or something.
um, it's kind of like, well, you watching the Coach Red Pill video you sent me a few days
Hmm.
ago. He touched on something that I talk about with my anarcho primitivism, that people have it too easy and they can't be prepared for you can't be prepared for the world when you've lived such an easy life.
Hmm.
You can't be prepared for stress, for endurance. So minor things become terrible, become overwhelming.
That's definitely part of it. Um,
Well, you and me grew up quite protected overall.
yeah, yeah. The reasons for increase in anxiety in like in a society and especially American society. I mean, there's tons of them. There's stuff that goes back to childhood, how you were raised, whether you put in daycare or not, can like stunt your emotional growth. I watched Stefan's video the other day about how involuntary play is because um, it kind of imitates the marketplace where you negotiate with people and you learn what good the right behaviors to have to get along with people. And kids have been so isolated, overprotected, or then like put in daycare where they feel abandoned by the parent, um, and they don't know how to deal with. They don't know how to be. Um, I guess you could say like pleasant to people. um, they don't know how to deal with a lot of emotions,
Well,
and
yeah, I mean,
it
well, do you think
go ahead.
do you think that's part of why we get overwhelmed so easy?
Yeah,
I mean, you're not prepared for anything, right? I mean, what are you prepared
no,
for?
yeah. I mean, we're both like 28 and we're still living at home. like And like
that is very good. That's quite common in our age
it's
group, which
I
is
know
sad.
it's
Which is
and it's
sad.
still
Which is, it still feels
it
awful, but it is pretty common
I know it's
in our age
common, but
group.
you kind of I think the whole millennial generation knows that it's not right. It's
It's
not
not right. No,
it shouldn't
everybody
be
feels
normal.
terrible about it. Think about all the NEETs.
Yeah.
I mean, NEETs aren't just a thing in over in Asia. It is a thing over here. We just don't call them NEETs except for on image boards.
Yeah. Um you can't help but feel like it's that it's not just that like you're already insecure, you're already scared because you don't know what the future holds and all that. But then you're like worse than homeless. You're like worse than it's like the most unself sufficient you can get. Like there's a dignity in work and there's a pride you can have in being self sufficient and having something of your own that's giving you fulfillment. It's providing for you financially, giving you resources. Um, and then eventually that leads to you having enough to be able to have a family, and then you have people around you who care about you and are dependent on you, and there's a lot of love and pride, and there's a lot of love you get from your kids and your wife, and then there's a lot of you know fulfillment you can have in providing for them. And it seems like that's pretty much been the being able to do that easier has kind of been robbed from our whole generation for a whole bunch of reasons.
Yeah, I mean, you can't get any self pride flipping burgers and then going back to your basement.
Yeah. Yeah, you go to a job you hate 40 hours. You take 40 hours a week for a job you hate and you know it can't even give you enough to live.
It is extremely degrading. It is degrading.
Yeah. Yeah. Um Everyone knows that as much as people try to be positive, there's a lot of motivational thinking we've always tried to get into. I mean, I guess me more so than you. Like you're always trying to find that motivational thing online that will be like the key to fixing your
Yeah,
thought patterns and
I
fixing it.
tried that for a while.
Yeah, but the underlying reality stays there and your subconscious knows it like the way this world is going is not right and I'm being robbed of something and unfortunately a lot of our generation is turning to more government, it's turning to the wrong solution, it's turning to the thing that caused a lot of these problems in the first place.
Well,
So they don't even
what kind of self pride would you get out of being fed Yang Bucks every month? Is there any self pride
unearned
in that?
unearned money, unearned wisdom.
It's not going to give you any pride to be handed over Yang Bucks.
No, I mean it happens to most. I think it's most of the people who win the lottery. They like hate having the money at a certain point.
For a lot of
Uh,
them, from what I've heard, it's because their family, their family comes around looking and looking. Everybody's looking for handouts all the
yeah,
time. Like, oh,
yeah,
you're that rich guy who won the lottery.
yeah, yeah. But I think it's too. It's like knowing you didn't earn it, and then everyone around you knows that you just got lucky and you didn't really work for that yourself. Um,
Yeah.
there's some guilt there. There's some like there's personal unsatisfaction, which is insane because we'd all love to win the lottery. We'd all love to have as much money, more money than we can know what to do with. Um, but we also like deep down, human beings want it. Um, and when you don't earn it, you don't appreciate it. And so there's a lot of like people try to deny a lot of the problems going on and is could be causing this huge rise in anxiety. But like their subconscious knows, like deep in the back of their head, they know. Um, So we like the answer to the whole question, how do you get over anxiety, is easy. It's like, don't live an unsatisfying life. But when you can't when you can't make that happen, not like not even right away.
Well,
It's like
are
you have
you
to work towards it.
well are you also mixing depression into this?
Is there a huge difference? I've never known the
Well, you
difference
could
between.
say I have anxiety about public speaking, but
Yeah,
you don't have depression at the same time.
right. Um.
How to how to live a satisfying life.
Well, that's what causes anxiety and depression is not living a satisfying life. You're unsatisfied. Um. But with the way the world is right now, how do you work towards that? Like, how do you deal with anxiety while you're working towards a satisfying life, which is getting increasingly harder to do? It's like um it's like the baby boomers were on easy mode, we're on hard mode, right? And that's like the big question. That's like the big conundrum, is that okay, we know why we're depressed, but man, it's like while I'm sad about my situation, there's this whole mountain I need to climb, you know? And it's like, but I'm so sad about my situation, I can't even bring myself to climb the mountain. So I never. So that's the cycle I feel stuck in. Um, what do I do to try to make myself work? I mean, I try to. There are times when I try to minimize distractions,
You come and find me
and
to smack you around.
yeah, look for friends to hold you accountable. You can do that. Um, think about how satisfied you're going to feel when you're. I make graphs of like what you if it's like songs or poems or artwork, and then I check off the box when they're done, so I can like see my progress. When I was making my album, it helped me a lot to see what I had left to get done, and then I could plan it out. And you just kind of see everything in an overview, and it's like, wow, look at how much work I've gotten done already, or look how much work I've gotten done today. And that can be a confidence boost. And that can make you want to try to get even more done the next time. Um, so there's that. Um, you can also look with supplements. There's probably something going on in your brain. Um, if you, for most men, I think we have too little testosterone. I think that's stopping a lot of
Well,
us.
all the poisonous food keeps it down.
Yeah, yeah. The don't drink soy milk. Um, a lot of people say don't do caffeine if you have anxiety disorders. I drink coffee all day, and I don't. I mean, I don't see the connection there myself, but that's some advice I've heard. Uh, if your brain is like not calming down and you can't calm yourself down, there might be something chemical going on. So, uh, I've been using like St. John's Wort um, mood support. This is from Now Foods. This is really good. I notice it more when I'm not taking it. Um, I notice the negative thoughts will spiral more out of control. I'll get a headache. Um, this is like that. There's supplements you can use to calm down your nerves, and copaiba is like a natural essential oil from DoTerra, and this is really good. This works really well. So, for me, anyways. Oh, and there's Happies from Infowars for mood and stress. Um,
Infowarsstore.com.
yes. Um,
Infowarsstore.com. Prisonplanet.tv.
Yep. Um, so I'll take those. If I don't take them, I notice that I'm getting more that my brain is just not up to snuff. It's just
What about Brain
it's
Force?
brain force is good. There's also this other oil from DoTerra called Intune, which helps you concentrate. It's been helping me a lot recently to stay focused. Um, so there's more than just your willpower. You know, it's like your brain is kind of. I think of the brain as like the instrument of the soul. So if the instrument is all messed up and putting out sour notes, then you can do stuff to fix that. I think just better nutrition in general, right? I think we're all starving for nutrition, our whole
Well, because
bodies.
the food is poisoned.
Yeah,
All the
we're
processed
eating.
foods, all the sugar, the empty calories.
Mhm. Um, yeah, we're eating foods that are making our bodies starve for the right things it needs to function properly, and so you need to eat healthier, exercise. I mean, just that's like the number one thing you can do. Even if you don't know what you're gonna do to make money, you don't know what you want to do in life as a job.
You
You're
gotta
kind of
lift.
still stuck.
What about you, Race? Are you lifting?
um, I'm on the treadmill every day. I do 2 miles on the treadmill, and I have like weights that I do while I'm on there. They're not big. I don't do like super heavy lifting, but I am losing something. I am losing pounds.
Well, like I can
It
tell
just
you are. I can tell you are.
Oh, okay. That's good. I Until the belly and the chest is gone, I'm
Well,
not going to
well,
consider it mission accomplished.
I can notice. I've noticed it in your face and in your chest. to,
Yeah. Well,
to put it
okay.
polite, I put it
Yeah,
polite.
I think
It is a
around
good
here,
thing. It is.
I think around here it goes,
Well,
but I mean,
your clothes are looser too.
yeah. Oh yeah, I'm going to have to buy new shirts soon.
Well, you can't though.
I can't now. I don't have any money.
That's why we have
This is
anxiety.
I'm going to be going out with parachute shirts. And be like, "Hey ladies."
I wear
So
pants that are too big for me because I'm not comfortable in the size that's appropriate for me.
right.
I'm not comfortable and I have to get them long too and roll them up because I don't know. It doesn't feel right. I'm not
Hmm.
comfortable. I'm not
I don't know
comfortable
how.
in pants that supposedly fit me.
I mean, the era of the skinny jeans is over, right?
Oh, well, I guess so
I don't see
mostly.
them around that much anymore. I couldn't.
Emo was a fad when we were in school. That's been over for a while.
Yeah, that's the proto soy boy culture.
Well, those people were soy boys. But are we soy boys, Race?
I mean, we used to drink soy milk, so
I'm lactose intolerant, so I still have to do that or almond milk. And almond milk just tastes like
I
almonds. What about tofu,
uh,
Race? You're at the Asian restaurants eating soy sauce and tofu.
um
You're over at the
once in a
you're
while
you're
it's
over
whatever.
at the Chink
What?
doing
Oh my
drink
god,
eating
he
soy
said it
milk,
on stream.
eating soy sauce. That's the Chink.
Oh my god,
Chink isn't a
just
slur. Chinese
you
restaurant.
just
Chinese restaurant. Well, the Chink to
when
us
you
is
get
the
famous,
buffet.
when you get famous, they're gonna edit this together.
They will. They'll say I'm a Nazi.
Yeah.
The Chink is how I refer to the buffet near us, the Chinese buffet. It's a specific one. Like other
Yeah.
places are whatever the name is, but that place is the Chink.
Yes. Just keep saying it. Just keep
I
saying
will.
that
I'll
over
say
and
it
over
again.
again.
The Chink.
Okay. All right. Anyways, I don't think tofu once in a while is bad. I'm not like I don't go searching out for tofu. I mean, I'll have it if it's there, but um
Well, I
I'm
use soy
drinking rice
milk.
rice milk. I like a lot because almond milk was getting too heavy, and rice milk
Almond
is very thin.
almond milk ruins the taste of like when I use it to cook. It tastes like almonds. So
Yeah,
soy milk doesn't. I guess there's rice milk now too. I actually haven't even heard of that, to be honest.
rice milk. I like rice milk. It's very thin. It's not super tasty. I mean,
yeah, it's
it
probably
does
very neutral.
it doesn't have a strong taste, but it's very thin, so it doesn't upset my stomach like almond milk did. And I do like the way soy milk tastes. I'm not gonna
The
lie.
consistency and the taste of soy milk works great in cooking, which is what I use. I use it to cook.
You know, there has been people have sued over some of the like the Prozac like pills have actually caused like the growth of breast tissue in men,
Well, it tampers
and they've
down.
sued over that.
Well, I mean, when you were putting something into your body and you were telling it to say, just fuck me up, bro, you're telling it to stop natural production of whatever. I mean, that's screwed up.
Yeah,
It's the same with birth control, too. You're telling your body to
and
stop doing something that it just does, as it's normal.
and
As it,
while testosterone is the thing that makes men aggressive, it's the thing that gives men drive to be entrepreneurs,
yeah, I mean,
make new inventions, and make the world better. And we've been robbed a lot. Like men, I think men are the biggest victims of this whole era that we're living in.
well,
And
I'm not going to try and play that card of woe is me in that regard.
it's just the way it is, though. It's just
So,
the way it is.
but here's an example of how testosterone can, taking away testosterone can screw you up. So there is people who go and get botched surgeries, trans surgeries. They
Hmm.
go to other countries and they get a botched surgery where they get their balls cut off, and your body can't
Yeah.
produce testosterone without it.
Hmm.
Their bones actually become so brittle that they just break under normal activity.
I didn't even know
It
that.
becomes
That's
brittle. Yeah, no, you can't do that. Like it's the same as blocking estrogen in women. It causes other problems. If you like, this is taking away to zero. Like right now, our food is tampering it,
but well,
knocking it down for depression.
women are getting too much estrogen too
That could happen.
because
Yeah.
we have estrogen mimickers in even just a lot of the plastic in our foods, and that mimics the effects of estrogen, even if it doesn't. So men are getting less testosterone, more estrogen, and women are getting double estrogen than they already produce.
That could happen.
I don't.
Yeah, well, they block estrogen, you know, trying to become men.
Oh well, but it's just
Yeah,
happening. It's happening to men without them even
yeah.
knowing it.
No, I know it
It
happens in our food. We're not getting proper nutrition, which doesn't help. The plastics ruin it. Um, I don't know. Sugars are terrible. Listen, sugars like pancakes and stuff, Eggo waffles. I'm not trying to say that like waffles are poison. I'm just talking about like waffles are empty calories.
Yeah,
What are waffles? You make the waffle, it's bread. It's essentially bread. Then you're taking it and you're dumping fake maple syrup on it, which maple syrup wouldn't be great anyway. I mean, that's just sugar.
right.
I mean, count the carbs here. You're taking a bread and dumping sugar on it. It wasn't enough for you. It wasn't enough for you, Mr. American. You had to, you had to just. I mean, there is nothing in there that is worth eating.
Right,
Not that
right.
bread is necessarily bad for you, but by bread, I mean peasants used to eat bread because it was cheap and but they were like trying to survive.
And then there's just boys out there somewhere who are being raised on just Eggos.
There was a
They're just eating
guy.
Eggos all day.
This was a very long time ago. I read this. A very long time ago. Talk about picky eaters. There is a dude out there somewhere who the only thing he eats is waffles. Not even pancakes. He eats only waffles. That's all he eats. That's all he's willing to eat. Not even tendies, which is the supposed to be the ultimate picky eater thing. He just eats waffles.
You should at least add mac and cheese in there.
He
The other golden food.
I mean, I hope he's at least taking vitamin supplements. But what about the
So
what about the girl who had to leave college? She got anxiety from sauce. Remember that one? Only like
yeah,
a month ago.
yeah.
She had so much anxiety from seeing sauce at the cafeteria in college that she left. She quit. There's some anxiety
And,
for you, Race.
and well, thankfully we didn't get that bad. Um, I mean, I'm still. I mean, I'm not ready to drive a car or even like go out by myself somewhere. I mean, I've done it sometimes, but it doesn't come. It hasn't been like natural to me yet to constantly do it. I'm 28 years old, and I get so
Oh,
frustrated
the
thinking
the
about that
the
that
the,
I've.
the anxiety from driving for me. I've actually tried to take it twice and I failed the test. But I hop in there and I actually get double vision. I get so scared. I'm so nervous.
Mhm.
I'll talk about it freely. It's like I have double vision, and the longer I drive, the worse I get. It gets worse as I drive. People say like you're supposed to get over it, through driving. It gets worse. It gets worse. I get sweaty. It's terrifying that car that I am piloting a 50-ton piece of metal down the road at 30 plus miles per hour, and
Yeah.
and and these other cars are just coming by me. It's like they're pretty close together. I mean, it feels quite close sitting on the driver's side of the vehicle. It feels like they're only inches away from you, and the New England roads are tighter than other places in the country because it's where we started. Oxen pulled them down.
Yeah.
They're quite tight compared to other places, but other places travel at higher speeds because they're so straight. So I don't know how I'd feel about that.
I, I've always thought that there should be like our cars should at least be like bumper cars. Like there
Yeah,
should
I
be
know
like
what you
inflate
mean.
as stupid as it would look, like there should be inflatable things on the sides and the fronts of cars so that if we just bump into each other it's no big deal. But for some reason it's got to be a giant metal bullet
It
going
also
down.
gets me too, is like even a fender bender. You have to stop, you have to pull over, you have to call the insurance company, you're taking pictures, you have to say hello to whoever the fuck you just ran into. Who the
Yeah.
hell are they? I don't even know. Who
Yeah.
knows who you're going to be
Yeah.
talking to?
And then you got to deal with the embarrassment of that,
I
or they
know.
did it, and the
Here's a huge deal. Like you have to call up an insurance company and go to court maybe over this. Or the fact you dented their bumper.
or you didn't even do anything, and
Or
they
maybe you
did.
didn't do it. I don't know. I mean, either way, I
Like,
mean, maybe it was icy out and it was nobody's fault. I don't know. But, I don't, that's such a normal thing to so many people. That's the biggest thing that bothers me. That's such a normal thing. Like having trouble with making money is quite normal overall.
I couldn't even afford a car, anyways.
Well, I know
And
that, but like
I've never liked. I've always been a homebody, so it's been easy to avoid it.
me too.
But I
It
don't.
doesn't
But
bother
it's
me
not been.
much.
It hasn't been good for me to. I know it's not been good for my life to avoid it because there's plenty of times I wanted to go somewhere and I couldn't go.
It bothers me on a confidence level. It doesn't bother me in my day-to-day life because I don't want to go anywhere really.
Right. Right.
I'm
To
quite
to go
happy most of the
somewhere
time.
is to not be working. That's how I feel.
Yeah,
It's to not be at home putting something out on the internet. But and because it's not even like the car payments and how expensive the car would be, but then you're paying for insurance, and that's just in case of money, and that whole system is broken. And gas prices are always fluctuating, and
well, yeah. I mean, gas money wouldn't even bother us too much with the amount that we drive. Well,
no,
honestly, honestly, our vehicle would probably degrade from not being driven.
and now we
It'd
got
be
extra
driven so
fees.
little.
We got extra fees in Massachusetts with
Ma-
Uber.
Massachusetts, you actually have to buy insurance. You have to. It's law.
Yeah,
It's law. You
yeah,
have
yeah,
to buy that product.
yeah. That's true too. Yeah.
So what is that at Uber? It is extra fees in Massachusetts? Was it just taxes or what?
I'd have to look it up again. It was on a newscast the other day. Yeah, I think there's like extra fees for Uber was going against it and Lyft.
There's a. Oh,
Um,
I'm looking it up. There's restrictions. It says in the headline.
yeah, there was something they were. It was something like save the. There was lobbyists with the taxi companies too that were trying to.
Oh,
Yeah.
figures. It's big business crushing others.
Yes. Yes.
Not, not,
There's a
not,
lot,
not
and
that, not that Uber is a small corp. So,
this is like this is like a platformer on hard mode, and there's like tons of things coming at you. Living in this modern world right now, there's just.
it has something to do with the airport. The airports
Oh yeah, that's
specifically.
right.
So, I mean, so does this have to do with you? I mean, you're not going to the airport.
No, it's just like even if I do want to go somewhere, I'm paying for an Uber ride.
No, no, I get you're paying
You
for the
know?
Uber. I'm saying, but this fee isn't affecting you, right? Unless you're going to the airport.
No, it's not. No, it's
Okay.
not. I forgot it was just
It's
about the
it's
airport, but
325 is imposed on drop-offs or pickup, going to the airport.
yeah, yeah.
So it's actually
But
that's still stupid.
it is, yeah. Yeah, I have to pay extra money just because of the state I live in.
Well, it's
If I
Logan
if I
Airport.
need a ride to the airport,
It sounds like it's Logan Airport specifically at the quick read I did.
Um,
Logan must have a taxi service or something. I bet you they're a big airport. They probably have something to pick people up,
mhm.
so they're angry.
um, so when I think about our decision making process in our heads and our willpower, where does our willpower begin and where does the things we can't control end? That's what is hard to figure out when you have all this like let's say you didn't get nutrition one day and that made your brain give up easily on not doing something. You know, if things were different, if there was nutrition in all our food, would you have done that thing?
I, that's something I've been thinking about recently too. Is that why you brought it up? Well,
Yeah, but it's just like the like what's my fault and what isn't.
let's thought. We'll back it
When
up.
do I make excuses and
Well,
when do I not make
well,
excuses?
hang on, sweetie. We're gonna unpack this. We're gonna
Okay.
unpack this. I
Okay.
wonder who will get the reference in the future. Um, so, so you have your big boomer dad sitting by the grill. He takes a big sip and he says to you, "You have to pull up your britches, son." Back in Nam, we didn't have. I'll show you real anxiety.
Back in my day, we used to walk to yeah, we
So
used to walk to school with
you
our
know,
bare feet in the
so
freezing snow.
so a lot of us on the right also meme about, suck it up, get over it.
Hmm.
For a lot of people, that is physically impossible due to bad diets. Just think about it. We have this toxins in our food. We talked about that.
Hmm.
Lowering our testosterone, raising estrogen, doing God knows what else. And it actually has screwed up our minds.
And we don't have a completely free market and we don't have good incentives. It's not easy to start a business. The more rules put on us, like there's that stress too.
Well, they say to go over, a boomer would say to go over and get a loan, take the risk. I mean, what a huge risk is that? Talk screwed up for the rest of your life if it goes under with your debt. So a combination of that, we were coddled. I myself was as another problem going on in my life in the possible future.
Hmm.
Well, because of that, we were coddled. The foods were drugging us. Um, all kinds of debt, student loan debt. We don't have that one. We don't
The
have
more
that one.
research yeah, that's true. But the
FC
more
has that one.
the more research I do, the more it's like I didn't know all these arrows were flying at me. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know all these things were impeding my growth, and impeding on my life. And that's the thing. It's like now that we know a lot of these going on more than most people, and we have similar perspectives on the solutions, and like we know some surefire things we can do to improve ourselves and improve our situation.
I
Again, how do you know which is what's willpower and what's your brain just
I,
heating
I
up and
know,
not being
I
able
know.
to produce?
So once you become aware of that, you have to question like I don't know. It's not like it becomes easier to overcome it because being aware of it somewhat helps. But you wonder
Mm-hmm.
like, am I physically capable of making correct choices? Am I physically capable of putting in the hours to work?
Is my brain capable of dealing with all this
Yeah,
stress?
no, is physically the right way? I mean, it is physical. I mean, mentally capable. I mean,
I think it's mostly mental. I mean, the thing I think about, one other solution I'll mention before I say this is breathing exercises, because you can, when you get anxiety, your muscles and your chest can tense up, and if you just like slowly breathe out, you can kind of like recenter yourself and get yourself in a better place. So that's one thing I'm doing more. But now I lost my train of thought. It's my brain heating up. It's my brain failing me.
anxiety.
Would my grandparents' brain fail them at this age? I don't know.
uh, I don't know. Well,
Well, they had better genetics too. I think there's also genetic. You get the genetic lottery.
we
You
are on a
might
genetic
there's
tapering. We are on a genetic downturn.
Yeah, and there's I think there's some genes that leave you more vulnerable to having anxiety. I will say I've never gotten panic attacks. That to me is uh, a bigger disability, I guess. It's just a general. It's just a
Worry,
general
constant
like,
worry.
yeah, a constant worry, constant stress on your head and your chest, and
You double and triple guess yourself all the time. Happens to me. Happens to me.
yeah, stomachs and knots. Um, just just an overall heaviness and being constantly overwhelmed. Um, how do you get over it? You just keep doing the things that you just. I guess gaining more knowledge, doing more research, not just on the healthy stuff you can do, but also just on what is everybody in society right now dealing with.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
try and figure out what is outside your control and try and let it go.
Yeah.
Well, you can't fix the economy. Can't fix the government.
No, not even with voting. Not
Um,
even with voting.
especially not
I
with
mean,
voting.
I mean, I'm like, well, it's easy enough. I can walk down the street and do it, but I don't expect it to bring about a huge change. Uh, Politics adds to the stress, obviously.
Try and just improve yourself. Take it to the ultimate personal level
Hmm.
and just improve yourself because you are under your control.
Okay, that's what I was going to talk about. Um, there are stuff with with they do studies with the brain where a split, like a tiny millisecond, even shorter than a millisecond, before a decision is made, there's something else affecting the brain to make that decision. I see it as kind of evidence for the soul and libertarian free will. And there has been like some studies done where people, um, it, I, positive thinking always sounds kind of corny, but this is actually something where the brain, um, the brain can, what's the word? It's like brain elasticity. Um, the brain can
I'm pretty
start
sure
changing itself.
it's called elasticity. I'm quite sure it's called
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The nerves can start. Your brain can start rewiring itself with just by your willpower alone. So I think willpower is always the factor. I don't think there's a limited amount of willpower. I think you can always will yourself to do something else, regardless of what's going on in your body, your brain. Um, I'm not a determinist. I'm not willing to accept determinism, even if it is true. I mean, I think I think we do have souls kind of running our bodies, and willpower is unlimited. So I'm not trying. I sound so new agey saying that, but like you don't run out of decision making. You know, it's just how hard that decision is going to be to take,
Well, there was
to
a
follow through with.
there was an essay I read once that talked about something like that. It was called "The Flinch" by
Hmm.
Julian Smith. But basically, what this is talking about, he talks about it's just a kind of evolutionary thing. But you know, there was a sense of danger, and when you feel danger, it causes you to flinch. You know, to try and get away from the danger. But now in the modern world, you know, it stops you from doing public speaking or whatever,
Mm,
starting a business even, who knows?
yeah.
Because you sense danger. Now danger now revolves around a lack of money.
Say that again.
Danger now revolves around money, collecting resources.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah,
money
yeah.
is the only resource now. If you have money, you have access to every resource.
Right.
So is that what you were kind of talking about there? A defensive mechanism?
Yeah, yeah. I've heard that with the whole 5 second rule. I forget her name, but she said, yeah, your brain is designed to protect itself, and when you sense danger, when you sense that the outcome is going to be more likely bad, that your brain is stopping itself, and you like she says like count to five and have a bias towards action and like stop your brain before it can stop you. It's never really worked for me, but that's something people can look into if they want. I guess it's worked wonders for some people. Um, you just count to five, and then, or no, you do five, four, three, two, one, and then you do it. You don't hesitate. But I've gotten to one and I've still hesitated. So I thought that was the hack. It didn't really work for me. You still need a good amount of like willpower to get yourself through it. So, but again, like that makes sense, right? You can't run out of willpower.
No, not
It's just
exactly.
it's your will. It's always there. Decision you can't run out of decision making. They're
There's always all kinds of hacks and essays written about it. Some magic pill to fix it all.
yeah. I, I guess the last thing, one thing that helped me a good amount, from Jordan Peterson, he said, um, imagine yourself if you stay where you are. Imagine yourself in the coming years if you always stay in the spot. Like, where are you going to be in 10 years if you're still doing the same things over and over again? Imagine what you'd be like.
It's a
Kind of,
it's an ugly future.
yeah, kind of like the guy who the guy who has the evil picture of himself. Do you know that story?
I don't know that one. No.
It has like the portrait of himself that, and he can like live forever, keeps him young. I forget the name of it, but like try to imagine where you would be, and let that motivate you to not become that. And the way Jordan Peterson is like, how about no? How about no? I don't go there. I don't want to be that. That can be a huge motivator. Like I, imagine if I'm here in my house, still living off my mother in 10 years. Imagine that Race Raposa. I do not want to be that Race Raposa. Like, how about no? Like, Jane, you still in your
Yeah, I
house. Like,
know.
how about
That's
no?
why I might be leaving in the next year through,
Yeah,
even though it'll be hellfire.
right. Like, how about no? Um, I don't know. Like, think of the worst possible outcome, and put it all on you. Make this evil, not well, not evil, but make this like disgusting portrait of yourself or something where, or imagine this version of yourself that's just like given up on life, and let that. It's like, okay, I'm not going to become that guy. That's, I guess that's one way to do it. It's a good, pretty good motivator. I think it's helped me a lot. So then maybe the anxiety you're feeling won't be as bad as that version of yourself in the far off future, being even more of a loser than he already is now. So
So should we
you
wrap it
know,
up?
yeah, you can also adopt the clown world view and just laugh at how crazy everything.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Hawk all the way.
All right.
All right.
I
So,
mean, I hope that was helpful to people.
well, hopefully it'll help somebody in the future.
Yes, listeners in the future, I hope this helped you.
So we're around Thursdays, 8 to 9
Hmm.
p.m. Eastern Standard Time on here in YouTube and where else. So, any final words?
No, that's it.
Okay. We'll see you next time.